and welcome. My name is Michael Hilkemeyer from ICTE Solutions Australia with the Technology in Early Childhood Education podcast for those people who want to successfully integrate digital technology in their early learning environment. In this video, I'm going to talk about how and why is planning important in early childhood education. And there are many reasons, but generally speaking, planning for teachers means making learning effective because we actually take the time to really get to know the strengths, the abilities and the knowledge, the skills of children. When we plan for the progression. We plan for them to move through the curriculum. We plan on developing new skills. So doing that makes learning effective in that way. And as I said before, it also ensures learning progression because you take the time to really understand, and more than understand, to assess the capabilities, because you can't ensure learning progression unless you assess and formatively assess the capabilities, skills, and knowledge in a topic. So there I present to you the strong link with assessment in early childhood education. And this is even more so when it comes to technology use, because children already enter your learning environment right from the very start with a degree of capability with them. So you need to assess them to be able to determine, to be able to help them in the progress in their learning from that point onwards. And then you also need to plan so that children learn the curriculum, because in the curriculum there are early years learning goals, such as that for technology integration, that you need to be able to plan for. And by planning for, you are helping children develop the 21st century skills that they need. You're helping the children learn the foundational knowledge that is required for them to progress, not just through early childhood education, but also through primary education and also secondary education. So, for example, all curriculums are connected. You have the early years learning framework in Australia connected to the Australian curriculum, which goes straight through from foundation stage to Year 12. So there's a vital part of your practice there in terms of planning for curriculum learning. And by doing so, you also help to develop and enrich the best opportunities for children. So these are some of the main ones, but we can go further than that in terms of planning. Planning also makes your work visible to your colleagues. You're not just sitting around and exposing children to technology or exposing children to books or whatever. You're making your work visible. You are showing your work not only to colleagues, but to parents and to carers who want to know what is going to happen and why. So planning also helps you achieve that. It also helps you to plan the organization within the setting. So whether it be with technology or for literacy lessons, or even for role play areas, planning in early childhood enables you to figure out the best way to organize the setting. And this also then goes on further because it helps you develop a wide range of learning experiences. So if you think about it, you really do then jot down and write down what you want each child to do. And each of them should be a stepping stone through each of these learning experiences. Planning also helps promote the learning then through that way. And you also maintain appropriate challenges. So looking at technology, if you plan effectively, you can actually then determine, once again, of course, this is only if you assess the capabilities correctly. So you assess the capabilities every so often throughout the year, you determine the capabilities, and then from those assessments of their capabilities, you plan and maintain appropriate challenges. Because this is how learning progression occurs. Because if you can imagine, if you just continually go over and help, and well, you don't need to help really. If you continually just get these children to apply the same skills and knowledge to a solution that they are working on, whether it be working on drawing a house with a drawing and painting program. If you don't actually make appropriate challenges, they won't progress. And from there, of course, they'll lose interest and the motivation to learn will not occur. So planning, is important in this aspect as well. And through these, this effective planning, you'll be able to introduce new ideas. Well, how can you really maintain appropriate challenges if you don't do that? You need to be able to think of new ideas and plan for them, and then continue on from there. And my favorite here is planning also really does help you respond and support any child's interests and strengths. So these are very important things. And to me, that sort of really just encapsulates what planning is all about. You are responding to their strengths and interests, and you're supporting them. So, and this is just not for this spans across a whole range of subjects, including technology use. And this is what being a responsive educator is all about: responding to them, valuing the needs and strengths and interests in technology use or in whatever it may be. So let's look further into technology use. Why is planning particularly more complex when it comes to technology use? Well, like I said, when you're planning for ICT, information and communication technology integration. Planning helps you to respond and support a child's technology skills, interests, and abilities. It also ensures that ICT is viewed as a tool to enhance and support learning, and not just as an add-on to the curriculum or an add-on skill to learn. And this is a very important factor because young children are so exposed, like all of us are, to new and emerging technology. And it has a profound effect on them. And they see the adults in their lives taking it for granted. And so they also will take it for granted. Planning for effective ICT integration breaks that cycle. It ensures that they will view it as a tool in the future years, a tool that is designed for a specific purpose, not just for social media, not just for texting, not just for communication, but a tool that is designed for a specific purpose. And planning effectively does that. And we cover that a lot and how you can achieve this in our online course. So other reasons would be that so that ICT is used as in an imaginative way to deliver the curriculum. ICT integration is not about waiting for the next big technological development to come around and somehow solve your problems. Do you need the latest and greatest technology? No, you don't. It simply is not possible for everybody. In fact, you can achieve great ICT integration with just one computer, or one laptop, or one digital camera, or one smartphone, or one what other device you have. This can be achieved very simply through effective planning. So, and it's all about imagining the potential for learning with the ICT device within the context in that it will be taught. And that's how integration is going to work for you. And then finally here, it also helps promote the achievement of the early years learning framework outcomes, or whatever early years curriculum you are using, if it encourages the use. And I guess it would have to be, considering that you are watching this video, but planning will help you promote the achievements of your early years curriculum. Looking more into planning for ICT, your principles of planning when planning for technology integration should be this: that ICT capability is best developed through meaningful subject-related contexts, such as literacy, numeracy, language development, communication, collaboration, geography, whatever subject you're teaching. If you want to effectively use technology, there is a great opportunity for you to be able to not only enhance the learning of the subject itself, but to develop ICT capability alongside it if you plan for it. And along with that, remember as well that when you plan, that the level of ICT challenge can be adjusted according to each individual child's needs, and that projects can be organized to provide opportunities for basic skills and knowledge to be acquired on a need-to-know basis. So these are the core principles of planning when you are planning for technology integration, and they clearly define why planning is important in early childhood education, because ICT capability needs to be structured and grounded at this stage of education so that young children can progress in their learning throughout other sectors of education and their life as well. And so a final note would be, to ensure that children are provided with a varied and enjoyable curriculum that meets their individual developing needs. So these are all the reasons that highlight the significance and the importance of planning in early childhood education. And if you like this episode, please head over to my website and grab my free online course for early childhood educators at www.ictesolutions.com.au